Well, it's that time again. It's time for Dollar Tree Movies. I've got a haul video right after this. Welcome back. Now, you guys know I am the head cheap ass of Cheap Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Eric, and I am going over a haul. This is a haul video of some of the things I recently picked up at the Dollar Tree. Now, the Dollar Tree used to be doing these dollar movies, about once every quarter, but for some reason now they've started doing them once a month. And some of the titles I see are same titles that I saw over a year ago, but it's just whatever tends to happen to come to your store. Now, there are a couple of them local, but not terribly local. You do have to travel a little bit, about 20 minutes away from my major location, but I usually go to my store. A friend of mine texted me, said, dude, they got this. Let me know. I was over there as soon as I could. So that's the kind of thing that happens is you end up getting, if you're in the know and you got friends and they're like, hey man, they got movies, then you go over there and you grab those movies. So that's kind of what happens. So what we're going to start off with, these are some of the films that I have picked up in my last trip to the Dollar Tree, and this is just kind of a haul video. The first one up is Hobo with a Shotgun. Yes, Hobo with a Shotgun. And that was actually the one somebody texted me and said, hey, they got Hobo with a Shotgun on Blu-ray. It was just, it's got Rutger Hauer in it, so it's going to be good, you hope. And I will say that Rutger Hauer is the best part of the entire movie. Now, this is actually based off of a trailer that ran in the Grindhouse movie that Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez did. This was one of the trailers, but the guy that was the hobo wasn't Rutger Hauer. It was actually somebody that stars in this film. And as a cop, he actually plays a cop in the film, but he was too scared to take on the role for a whole movie. He was a little scared. But you know, the Danny Trejo movie came out that was like that. They talked about doing some of the other ones, the like Nazi werewolf thing or something. They talked about doing those. But this is one of the ones that got made, and it come out, the original Grindhouse movie I think come out in like 2007. This come out in like 2011. So it was a few years later, but they did actually make the movie. But what had happened was Quentin Tarantino had asked and Robert Rodriguez had asked directors that they knew to make a fake horror movie trailer. And but some of them went over so well. And when I was in the theater watching Grindhouse, I was just, enamored with some of those trailers. They were really great. And it was just something you wanted to see. So for them to go through with it and make the movie, it's something. Now, that being said, I can understand where people would like this movie if they were drinking and out with the guys. It would be a funny movie. But the dialogue is just so clunky and horrible at times and so badly delivered that the only saving grace in the movie is actually Rutger Hauer. There is a girl that plays like a prostitute that helps him, and she's okay, but most of the cast is pretty bad. But anyway, Rutger Hauer has like a speech at one point, and it kind of reminds you of the speech in Blade Runner. He did in Blade Runner that he supposedly wrote himself, and I'm pretty sure he must have written this because it was the best sounding dialogue in the whole movie. But anyway, in the context of it, if you're drinking and out with the boys and watching this, it's pretty funny. If you're sitting there with your wife watching this, not so funny. And it was over the top. There's a lot of personal body injuries that are pretty bad, and you just make you cringe. So just pretty bad stuff, but a lot of practical effects in that way. But a Hobo with a Shotgun, only $1 at the Dollar Tree. Now, next up, I'd heard of this one, but I hadn't seen it. I still haven't seen it. I checked out some of the special effects in it, and that is the Jurassic Dead. Now, I've seen this one pop up on Amazon and Shudder and things like that. I'd seen it pop up as a movie that you could watch or a movie you might want to watch. And so Jurassic Dead, I was intrigued by that. I popped it in. I just wanted to look at it real quickly and see what was going on with it. And very bad special effects, stuff that I could probably do here at home and get them to look, pretty much like this movie. So there you go. Now, one cannot deny the power of Nicolas Cage. And here is Nicolas Cage in 3 movies. 3. So for $1, you gotta kind of buy Nicolas Cage for $1. If he's $1 and it's 3 movies, you gotta pick it up. The movie Trespass, The Bad Lieutenant, and Stolen, all with Nicolas Cage. I recently saw Nicolas Cage in Mandy. That's a very weird movie. Don't commit to it. Rent it first, and then see if you want to keep that, because it's very, very weird. It's right up there with Hobo or with Shotgun. So there you go. I don't know what's going on as far as John Lennon, but I've picked up 2 recently John Lennon movies at the Dollar Tree. So I guess it was the anniversary of his death or something a couple of years ago that they were doing, and this is Looking for Lennon. It's Looking for Lennon. There's also another one that's John Lennon. That's Chris Eccleston from Doctor Who plays John Lennon, and I haven't watched that one yet either. But that one at least intrigues me. But I am a relatively good Beatles fan, so I'm looking forward to that. Next one up, Tiger House. It just looked very interesting. Tiger House is kind of a revenge flick. Somebody's terrorizing a lady. All this stuff on Blu-ray. To get this stuff basically in a great Blu-ray package is pretty cool. Also up next, we have the Bellco Experiment. Now, the Bellco Experiment intrigued me because it's basically listed as like, let's see how it is, Office Space meets Battle Royale. Now, if you've ever seen Battle Royale, it's just like teenagers that have to fight to kill each other. So this is that same situation, but in an office. And when I picked it up, I saw it, I was like, well, that sounds intriguing, but I didn't really, you're flipping through movies, you're not really wanting to hang out in the store these days, so you're flipping through them pretty quick. It's like that for $1, I'll see what that is. Got it home, jackpot. Michael Rooker's in it from Walking Dead and Guardians of the Galaxy. And Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, if you know him from back in the day. But with Michael Rooker in it, it's going to at least be somewhat enjoyable, so I look forward to that. This next one, we're hitting the DVDs now. We got back into the low quality. But it's called Pioneer, and it seems to be about a submarine, about going underwater, and it looks pretty good. It says it's by the director of Insomnia, but I thought Christopher Nolan directed that. And I don't know who directed this. It doesn't ever say. You're trying to look for it and can't find it. Anyway, I thought it sounded intriguing. I did like Insomnia, so hey, there you go. Up next is just, you got to have fun with this one because it's called The Last Rites of Ransom Pride. The Last Rites of Ransom Pride. And it's got Chris Christopherson and Peter Dinklage. There you go. I mean, what more could you want in a movie? You go from Chris Christopherson to Peter Dinklage. So you can't beat that. It at least sounds fun. Now, this next one sounded like it might have been a contender. It might have been a contender at some time. But it's got a lot of folks in it. Matthew McConaughey, Zac Efron, Macy Gray. You remember her? She had a song in the Spider-Man 1, or the first Sony Spider-Man movie. John Cusack and Nicole Kidman. So it's an all-star cast. And it's called The Paperboy, and looks relatively intriguing. Looks like something that would be, at least a good time. You've got a good shot when you've got some name actors in it. And that's a lot of times when I'm flipping through these things at the Dollar Tree. If I see an actor I know, then I'm likely to get it. I've picked up some stuff with other stars from The Walking Dead and stuff. It might be a B movie, but they're in it. And just to see what's going on with those. But this one looks to be a little strange. I was thinking of the Western. This is The Paperboy. But The Paperboy looks like it's got something going on with it. It's got a lot of official selections from Toronto Film Festival and all this stuff in 2012. Outrageously pulpy and entertaining, it says. So The Paperboy, so not too bad with that. And this last one just intrigued me by the cover alone. The cover alone just got me. But it's got Terrence Stamp from General Zod fame, Chancellor Valorum from Star Wars, It's got him in it in like a bird outfit, and it's called Crow. And it's about like some people are wanting to take over the woods and tear down the woods so that they can build a mansion, their own private mansion. And apparently he's a spirit of the woods that's not very happy with that, and he possesses a young boy and gives him supernatural powers or something to help stop this tramping of their ground or whatever. But that's just it just seems intriguing. This one is also available on Amazon Prime if you like want to look and want to see the movie. It's a Canadian film. I'd never heard of it, but it's got an awfully cool slipcover on it, and it just looks so good. It's got the great slipcover with Terrence Stamp there, and for $1, you can't beat that for $1. So I had to pick that one up. But anyway, like I say, the Dollar Tree's got to where they are putting them out about once a month. It seems like, and they'll have new movies. I usually, I don't get to go by there all the time, but what happens is I usually have friends that know I'm into movies, and they'll text me and say, hey man, they got this going on right now. So I'll be quick to go in there and pick some stuff up and see what they got. And if you want to see more videos like this, all you got to do is subscribe to my channel, hit like, subscribe, hit the button down there for the bell, and then you'll get notified whenever I post my next video. So, like always, I'm Eric Stafford saying, hey, let's watch a movie.